Good evening. This is Sheri Richardson from Experimental Homesteader, Exotic Gardening, SheriAnnRicherson.com, and biannualblogathonbash.com. And today on the vlog, I thought that I would show you what we were actually doing this evening. Jeff has set up a shelf, a huge metal shelf. Do you want to?
6-tier.
Yes, it's a 6-tier shelf. We have put some wheels on the shelf to make it easy to move around the living room because with March coming in like a lamb, I'm sure it's going to go out like a lion, and the greenhouse just isn't ready yet. So I thought that I would start some seeds inside, and I think we're going to get some baby chicks this year to increase the number of chickens that we raise. Maybe a few Cornish hens. We haven't really decided what we're going to get yet. Other than I thought if we had this seed starting and chick raising shelf in the living room, that it would work out really well and give me a few weeks so that I could get some seedlings started and give the weather time to warm up, time for him to recover the greenhouse with plastic, and then we can get outside and get things moved into the greenhouse. So what I have here is a Jiffy peat pellet seed starting greenhouse, and I've gone ahead and put water on all of these. And Jeff, can you bring me one that's not been expanded? I've gone ahead and put the hot water on all of these to expand them so that they are ready to, so that they're ready to plant. I like these. We have tried soil blocks, which work fine, and a few different, types. I've used toilet paper rolls before, empty ones that I've cut down and filled with soil. But I really like these little peat pellets, and this is what they look like before you add water and expand them. Here you go. Sometimes they don't puff up all the way, and you have to kind of squeeze them and play with them. That's okay. All of these puffed up pretty good. So I'm going to start by planting these seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. These are Rutger tomatoes. There we go. You can see that now. And for those of you that don't know, because I know that some people don't, and that's okay. We all had to start and learn someplace. I'm going to show you what a tomato seed actually looks like. Hopefully you can see that okay. Those are actual tomato seeds. And so what we're going to do, and I usually use tweezers. I don't have any tonight. We're just going to lay one seed on top of here. Now, I do like to plant in damp paper towels, but again, we are late enough in the season, I feel, that I'm just going to plant these tomato seeds directly, well, all the seeds, just directly on the top of the peat pellets. And that's the way we're going to do it this year. I like using the paper towels because I feel like if I end up with some older seeds that maybe have some bad germination rate, I would rather waste some paper towels and seeds than actually waste the peat pellets. When we was at Lowe's tonight getting the shelf, I went to look to buy some more of these because I thought that might be a really good idea. And I'm going to put a second one in there because that seed just didn't seem okay. And believe it or not, for the same thing I've got here that I paid, what, $8 or $9 for, Jeff, last year?
Yeah.
It was almost $19, $18 and some change. I think that is absolutely crazy. And if that doesn't tell you the way that prices are going, then I honestly don't know what will. The grocery store prices are not going to be far behind. And feed has gone up. It cost me $85 in shipping to get my goat feed that in the past had cost $24 in shipping. So we definitely have some issues, not only with our supply chain, but we have some issues with cost. And this is going to affect everybody. I'm making a tag now. These tags actually came with it. But if you're planting and you don't have tags, what you can do is take some of the old plastic white window blinds and just cut those up into, proper size pieces and just write on them. I use a Sharpie because, frankly, the seed starting pins are very nice, but they really don't last any better than a Sharpie. Now I've added my tags, I've got my seeds. The last thing that I do, and you don't have to do this, but I found that it really does help, is put a sprinkling of vermiculite. Again, without moving the camera, I know that you guys can't see this real well, but I put a small sprinkling of vermiculite, very light, because I don't want to heavily cover these seeds. I just want enough vermiculite to keep the seed from drying out. That's what I'm trying to do. Just keep the moisture up on it so it germinates. And I'm going to go ahead and finish planting this here in a minute. I'm using that new, the Achiever, the stand that I bought for my phone. So I'm going to see if I can just lift my phone up so that you guys can actually see what's going on and maybe see me. There you go. Hi. I think from what I saw when I was out today as far as prices, that things are going to get much, much worse before they get better. I don't know if Jeff has some thoughts on that. But prices are definitely going up. And like I said, there are shortages in all kinds of products. Jeff, can you bring me probably the one behind this one, if it's tomatoes, please? I feel like with stuff being stuck in the ships out, in the ocean out west on ships, and the situation with the truckers doing their freedom convoys that they're doing, the shortages of people working, which I think is because people realized during COVID that they couldn't rely on corporate America. They needed to make their own way, and I feel like a lot of people have... No, there should be one with some Baker Creek. Yes, that one, please. They have to make their own way, which is how I have always kind of felt. And if you're wondering what these are a photo storage case that you can get at places like Joann Fabrics. That's where we got these. And they actually go in a big, like 12 by 12 plastic container, so you can separate out your seeds. Anyway, I think it's going to get worse. And I think those of us that don't plan to grow a garden this year, that obviously we are, but people that just do what they've always done and rely on the grocery store and don't try to have any kind of self-sufficiency, I think they're going to be in trouble. I think they're going to do without a lot. And I think it's going to get bad. Jeff, do you want to put in your 2 cents on this?
Well, you're pretty much saying what's going on. I know that gas prices are still climbing.
Oh, they're horrible.
And are definitely going to be really bad and are going to cause a lot of further issues.
Yeah, because there's no way people making minimum wage are going to be able to afford gas. We're struggling. And Jeff is definitely over minimum wage. Plus, I have an income coming in. The next tomatoes I'm going to plant, by the way, are these watermelon beefsteaks, again from Baker Creek. Go ahead, Jeff, sorry. Just interrupt there.
That's what you do to me.
Yes, that is what I do to you.
What I was saying, the gas prices, the last time the gas prices got high, I was out in California. I was working for Domino's, delivering pizzas, and it was tough. There were several things that the owners did to try and help us out, but the cost of gas, and when you're driving around delivering pizzas, you're going, using up a lot of gas, and it was hard, and it's getting worse, because prices are going a lot higher at this point than they were then. So I don't know how some businesses are going to be able to manage. Delivery places are going to struggle. They're going to have to charge more, which means people are going to potentially buy less, which means the businesses aren't going to make the money that they have been, and it's a very serious downward cycle.
It's going to affect everybody.
Yes.
And I saw today, I saw a post, somebody posted that they didn't feel sorry for these people that had these $74,000 trucks, that would be truck drivers, that got 10 miles to the gallon. And they felt like they deserved what they got, what they had coming. And this is how I feel about that. I have a 1989 F-350. It gets 9 miles to the gallon. Now, it's a 1-ton truck. It's going to haul, and that's what I bought it for. And I actually bought it the last time gas prices were $5 a gallon. I don't remember what year that was. Do you, Jeff?
Oh.
He's thinking on that. But I got it for $3,000 because the gas prices were so high and they knew they wasn't going to sell it. And I'm very happy with it. I wouldn't trade it. It's been in the shop since November, getting the motor completely torn apart and put back together because it had some oil leaks that I needed to get taken care of. I did ask if there was any way to wean the motor and make it a little more lean so it got better gas mileage. There is not. But, these big semis, a lot of those truck drivers don't own those semis. The companies do, and they work for them. And when you're hauling a load like that, it puts a real strain on the motor of whatever vehicle. You have to have a big vehicle to haul a big load. Otherwise, you're going to tear your vehicle up. And, I hear people say all the time, well, I don't feel sorry for people that work for $2 and something an hour as a waitress. I don't feel sorry for people that work at Domino's delivering pizzas. It's not my responsibility to pay for their gas by giving them a tip. All right, if you feel that way, honestly, don't go out to eat. Don't order pizza. Because if nobody is doing those jobs, who's going to be there to serve you? Who's going to be there to deliver that pizza to you when you don't want to get off your lazy butt, because that's really what it is. You don't want to get off your lazy butt and go pick up your own pizza. If people keep having the attitude that they're going to keep their money all to themselves, they're not going to tip, it's going to come down to it. People are going to quit doing these low-end jobs. And I also heard, and Jeff, you can chime in here. I was listening to another YouTuber today, somebody that I followed on Facebook for a long time, another homesteader. And she heard, was it Tucker Carlson?
Yeah.
That she heard a man on speaking. And he said that there's no doubt or grocery prices. Did he say 1,000 a month?
Potentially could hit $1,000 a month for a grocery bill.
Yeah.
Now, there was no specifics as to what size family or what kind of groceries they're buying, but he was a farmer, and based on his calculations basically of what it was going to cost him to produce, what he was going to have to charge
what he was going to have to charge to sell his product.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Cherokee Purple tomatoes next, again from Baker Creek.
It was going to run the cost of food to a point where it'll probably be $1,000 a month for groceries.
Yeah.
And I mean, this woman was saying she did some math, some calculations, and just based on the feed cost, she was going to have to start charging $11.50 a dozen for eggs.
Yeah.
And that didn't include any of her time. That didn't include, calculation for,
bedding for the
chickens.
chickens.
Or any of the extras. It was purely the cost of the feed, because the feed was going up in price.
Yep.
And so, $11.50 a dozen for eggs.
People are going to be eating eggs.
People here complain when we ask for $3 a dozen for our eggs.
And I buy certified organic feed for my chickens, Purina.
Yeah.
I also buy certified organic feed for my goats.
Right.
And
so we're doing organic feed.
Yeah.
Which is a little more expensive. There is a higher price on it, but we like the organic. We like providing that. But when people throw a fit, oh well, I can get a dozen eggs at the store for less. Well, you're not going to be able to soon.
Yeah.
And yes, we're going to have to raise our price on a dozen eggs because it is costing us more. But the stores, I foresee easily a dozen eggs at the store costing $6 or $7 a dozen.
They already are. I've been watching prices and trying to keep my feed prices the same, trying to help people out.
Yeah.
And
you've got one of your tags turned around, by the way.
No, I wrote on the back too because my marker had put it so close together.
Okay.
I really try to help people out because one of my goals in having the homestead was to be able to grow food for Plant a Row for the Hungry, to give to people, food pantries and such that were in need, and to be able to give fresh local food to other people that maybe couldn't afford it for whatever reason. So I try really hard to keep prices very, very low. But I went to Tractor Supply yesterday. I got my feed and I got a $6 magazine. And of course there was tax on that. But I spent $54. And is our chicken feed a 40 pound or a 50 pound? I don't remember.
I believe it's a 40 pound.
Yeah.
And so it was basically a $45 cost for a 40 pound bag of feed.
Yeah.
When just, a month ago,
we were
paying
$30. Yeah. And I know some of you are going to say, well, you don't have to feed organic. Okay, here's how I feel about that. Raising livestock is a lot of work. Why exactly do I want to go buy genetically modified feed, which is what the conventional is? Why do I want to go buy genetically modified feed to feed my animals to get genetically modified fed meat, eggs, and milk? There's no point in that. There is absolutely no point in that. I could go to the store and get it cheaper. I want to feed my animals organic because I have seen the difference in their health. I have seen the difference in their size. They're much bigger and beefier and nicer looking on the organic feed. And frankly, I want the best for my animals that I can afford. You know, those are our children right now because all of my children are grown. And Jeff doesn't have any kids. So, um, you know, these are our babies. We want them to have the best. And I'm getting ready to plant some tomato Paul Robeson. And this is named after the famous Russian opera singer. So it says the flavor is distinctive, sweet, and smoky. I have not grown these before, but when I was reading the catalog and reading about these, they intrigued me, and I thought, well, you know, why not? And if you're wondering why I'm planting so many tomatoes, I not only intend to sell some tomato plants this spring to some people and have some special requests for some people for some tomato plants, but I like to plant around 150 tomato plants every year. Now, last year, I don't even think we got the garden tilled last year, did we? No, I didn't think we did. So last year, I started plants. I sold a whole bunch. And Jeff was working so much, and the weather was so non-cooperative that we didn't even get tilled. This year, he's got the high tunnel up. He's finishing pruning the fruit trees, which means we won't get any fruit this year because it's just too late in the year. But it needs done.
Actually, I didn't finish pruning all of them.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
then we may get some.
The trees may still produce something.
Okay. Well, anyway, he may be putting the cover on the high tunnel soon. I, of course, need to have some plants to be able to put into them. And so I'm working on that. But my advice to you is, if you can grow a garden, even if it's an indoor garden, use an aero garden or another hydroponic system, I suggest that you grow whatever you can grow. And right now is a great time to get those cool weather crops in the ground. Get your warm weather crops started indoors if you already haven't. And if you don't have grow lights, we of course do. But if you do not have grow lights, the way around that is to either buy the grow lights and consider it an investment because they do last from year to year. Or every warm day that you have, set these outside so that these seedlings that you're starting can get plenty of light. You can also set them up in a window. If you don't get some plants started, you know, I'm just afraid that if people aren't growing their gardens or going in with someone who is growing a garden, I'm really, really afraid that this is going to be the year that some people are going to do without. I really don't, you know, I could be wrong, but I just really don't feel like things are going to get any better. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I mean, they will get better eventually.
Eventually.
But it may be a while.
Yes.
At this point. I don't foresee, I think this summer is going to be a very rough summer.
I do.
Fall, we might be seeing some improvement by fall, but I think it's going to be rough. I think this year is going to be very rough.
Yep, I sure do. And if you're just afraid that you don't know how to do this, you're afraid you're going to waste money trying to do it, get with somebody in your area that's starting seeds that can help you out. You can literally grow a tomato plant in a 5-gallon bucket as long as it's got drainage. And I do that every year just so I can have a tomato in the front yard. we do have a video on that shows how we set these up. And every single year, there is one tomato that grows in the front yard in that bucket. And it makes it really easy to do it that way if you live in an apartment or someplace where maybe having a garden isn't possible. There are a lot of crops you can grow in containers. And one of the best places for container seeds is Renee's Garden. This is a True Black brandy wine, also from Baker Creek, that I am starting right now. There's a few tomatoes I'm just going to do a single row of instead of 2 or 3 rows. And that's just because I want to get these started and have a few to test out and see what I think. Especially since last year I did these, and did we sell? No, we didn't sell all the tomatoes last year.
No, some of them
some
died
of
in the greenhouse.
Yeah, and some I ended up just giving to the neighbor next door. So, anyway, do you have anything else, Jeff?
No.
Okay, the last 2 tomatoes that I'm going to start, oops, I need to put that in that. I have a Black Beauty tomato that I'll get out here. Also from Baker Creek. And I guess I'll just show you this. I like to get these little bags from the craft store. And once I open my packet, I like to fold it down and put them in the little Ziploc bags. That way, if any seeds fall out, they're not completely lost. They're in the bag. They have the package with them, and I could just go ahead and use them. So if Jeff doesn't have anything else, guys, just think about it. And also, I want to throw out there, if you come over to experimentalhomesteader.com and you sign up for the newsletter, it's right at the top. You can find it in the bar across the top. I have a bunch of free prepper items for you, including a 52-week stocking up list that can tell you what to buy each week to be able to do this on a budget and start stocking your pantry. I also have an upsell if you get your freebies. I think it's like $7 or $8, and it is a homesteading binder. Very, very nice. It's very similar to the one that Homesteaders of America sells for $50 or $60. I don't know. Anyway, this is a great deal. And also on my Etsy shop, Exotic Gardening Farms, we have a Save the Foundation 40% off sale going on right now. We're trying to raise a couple thousand more for the foundation on the house, the work that's going to be done in April. So if you're looking for some printables, some homesteading stuff, some prepping stuff, go over to my shop. If you need the link to that, it is down in the description as well. So go over there and check out what I have, and I hope you will sign up and get your 52-week free stocking up list over on experimentalhomesteader.com. Please subscribe to our channel. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments below, and we'll see you tomorrow with another daily vlog. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.